Hi, everyone. My name is Catherine. I'm a software developer for VEX Robotics.
And I'm Jacob Palanick, also a software developer.
And today we are going to talk about our journey rebuilding. When I say rebuilding, I mean from scratch, our VEXcode application with an accessibility-first design. So we're going to talk about why we decided to rebuild and our case for starting over. And then we're going to talk about what designing for accessibility looked like for our team, and then the lessons we learned along the way. For starters, if you don't know about VEXcode or VEX Robotics, we're an educational robotics software company. So this is our continuum of products. This is also the landing page of our rebuilt application. And it kind of follows suit with the age range of students that we provide products for. So we have our VEX 123 product in the upper left corner there. That's for some of our youngest students, as young as kindergarten, all the way through the new VEX Air drone that we released recently for high school students and beyond. So lots of products that we support, and we use Blockly for all of these to allow students to code their robots and learn how to code.
Now, while we have 10 products now, we did not originally have 10. When we first started developing VEXcode, we actually were developing it for a product that never got released. But then we added on our IQ and V5 products early on, and we kept getting new products from higher up saying, hey, we need this new product, we need this one added. And as a result, what we had is a code base that was designed for one thing. We bolted on more and more features. And in the middle of 2021, we added even more products in a furious pace. And as a result, we were left in a very precarious code base situation.
Yes, so Jacob was here for all of this. He has been along from the start of the VEXcode journey. I just joined the team a few years ago, so I come in around the 2025, 2022 time point. And when I got there, we had 10 platforms. We had 7 million yearly users in just the web apps alone. And we had a 45 gigabyte repository that now is posed with the problem of meeting accessibility requirements that we did not exactly think of back in 2018, not knowing what this decade would bring as far as scale. So we had a large problem. We knew we wanted to solve it, and we were posed with how we would solve it. And then when we say prioritize accessibility, we're not just saying that we want to meet WCAG 2.1 AA. We wanted to also take the years and years of feedback that we've been receiving in Slack channels from all of our students and take that into account and all their pain points and improve everyone's experience in VEXcode. So we were posed with a problem. How are we going to make our application accessible? How are we going to improve all of these features that we've been building for the last 10 years, looking back and knowing what we know now? And it brings us to the blueberry muffin problem, which is there's two ways here that you can bake a blueberry muffin. And the top row here, you'll see you start with the blueberries and you mix them into your batter, and you are resulted with a perfectly baked blueberry muffin. That is not the situation that we have come across with VEXcode. We had our batter, we made a muffin, a proof of concept muffin, 8 years ago, and now we are looking at the blueberries that is accessibility and thinking, how can we get those blueberries into an already baked muffin? It's not going to be easy, and it's not going to be as done as well as if we would have started from the beginning with an accessibility first mindset. So with that, we decided we need to rebuild this entire code base. We're going to do it from scratch, and we're going to try to do it right and take everything that we've learned along the way. So for our team, designing for accessibility, these are some of the things, the 4 main things that it looked like for us. For one, yes, we wanted to meet WCAG conformance. This meant new component libraries that we could use that were out-of-the-box accessibility friendly. So we use Radix for dialogues to make sure that focus is returned to the app when you're inside it. We made sure that focus is brought to the dialogues. We use Bootstrap for our buttons in a way that every button expects the same output for users when they're navigating with keyboard. When they're navigating with screen reader, they're seeing the same roles and the same UI elements. We also moved to a single application, and we moved to a mono repo as well to help us iterate faster and connect all of our packages together. We also used the latest technology by rebuilding. It enabled us to leverage Blockly V12 and V13 that we're so thankful for that Blockly has taken this under and that we've been able to pull it in because of our rebuilt code base. Our old code base was using a forked version of Blockly. We were on version 3, and
Version 3 that was originally before that based on Scratch, so we hacked all together with all kinds of things.
yeah, so pulling in updates was almost impossible. The technical debt that we had incurred over all this time, it genuinely, our team was so ecstatic to rebuild the code base rather than bolt on. It also helped our team a lot as well, because a lot of us are newer to the team, and when you rebuild something, you're really bought into it. It feels like it's so important to everyone on the team now, and it's been a really great experience. So additionally, expert review, because we are not experts in accessibility. We wanted some help because we were, how does our team make sure we do this right? And part of that involved partnering with Datally, Stefik, who is here. He has been a massive help to us, and he has hopped on call with us, and he has sent lengthy, great, amazing descriptions and discussions. No, it's great. It's amazing. He's been a huge help in us navigating decisions to make, because it's not always easy, and it's not just following conformance bullet points. It's a lot of thought and discussion. So now you'll see here this image, which thankfully it is showing, so that's great. VEXcode 5 coding software, it is in beta, but we're so happy that we can now report 86% conformance for WCAG 2.1 AA and our VPAT, and we're only working to improve that more. As of where we started with VEXcode 4, was only at 46% conformance, and to be honest with you, it was, in my eyes, it was at 0 compared to where we're at now. So we're really proud of the effort and the work that it has taken. Now, lessons learned for us along the way. Designing for accessibility really paid us back as a team, which I've kind of already touched on. But so now 7 million of our users, they can all code in VEXcode regardless of ability. And educators and students get a smoother experience as a result, because we have also taken that to another level of just improving the experience of users and the flow of the app, and actually acting on all the feedback that we've collected. And now also, our code base is so much cleaner, so much easier for us to build. And we're now creating such faster iterations. Adding new platforms for us is so much easier, because we designed it in a way that we can scale it in a way that we didn't really know was going to be necessary before a decade ago. Additionally, accessible code is clean code. We've found that on our team, designing for accessibility has made us kind of develop in a better way. We're using HTML and structures the way they're intended to be used. The old code base, we had divs as buttons with on-click events, which isn't always wrong, but it was all over the app, and it was layered levels of divs and icons and SVGs that weren't really proper roles. That can actually make debugging so much more difficult as a developer. When we focused on accessibility, we found that we were designing more intentionally, and our code was more intentional as well as a result. Second lesson learned, it is not an easy feat to make your application accessible. There's not a clear answer for everything, and you're not just meeting WCAG conformance. So Stefik has helped a lot with this as well, just the discussion, and we feel that this is actually a gap, shows a gap in AI as well, because a lot of this requires human thought, human research, focus groups, working with students, getting feedback, and not just having AI make a button that follows accessibility rules. There's a lot more to it, and it is a hard challenge that we've taken on, and that so many of you all have as well. But progress, any progress is good progress. So. Then, what's next for VEXcode? We have not released the rebuilt accessible application yet. It's still in beta as we continue to unlock more of our platforms. Since we have 10, we're doing platform by platform, updating where we can and unlocking more of them. But also, with Blockly V13 that we're so excited to pull in, we are reaching for 100% conformance, and once we get there, we want to start focusing on some of our hardest accessibility problems, like brought up earlier. A lot of you here as well have virtual reality environments. How do we make that accessible? We have live vision feeds in our application from our vision sensors. How do we make that vision feed accessible to let all students know what the vision sensor is seeing? So those problems are going to be complicated, and now that we have this base, since we've rebuilt the application, we can start spending time on those since the core of it is stable now. And next, we have our new VEX platforms. We're always working on new products, improved generations, new robots and virtual environments. So this rebuild has been great for our team because we're able to prove concepts out and add new platforms at a much faster pace. And lastly, one of the new features that we've been able to experiment with is a Blockly backpack mode. This is still in beta and we're still kind of working out the kinks, but we got a lot of feedback from educators that they would like the ability to have a template project open alongside their Active Blocks workspace. This kind of connects as well with how important example code can be for students to learn how to solve a challenge. So we implemented a backpack mode where you have a read-only project on the right. This could be blocks or it could also be text, Python. And you can then try to rebuild the challenge or alter the challenge to what you're trying to do in your actual Active Blocks workspace. So by rebuilding the workspace, this is just one example of how quickly we were able to add this. Adding this in our old repository would have been a huge effort. So it has paid back in a multitude of ways, this rebuild and rebuilding for accessibility. And also backpack mode, we're gonna show off today with our physical aim robots. If anyone's interested, Jacob and I will both be doing that today. And we'd love for all of you to come see the new VEXcode application, give us feedback on accessibility, where it's at, and see backpack mode. Well, that is all.
Questions? Any questions? Yeah.
Hi, just out of curiosity, what was the level of effort for this rebuild in terms of people and time? It's always a temptation.
Yes.
You know,
yeah. Surprisingly quick, I would say, just because the old tools that we had a class-based, I mean, we had no function-based, we didn't have React hooks, we didn't have any of the latest technologies we've been able to leverage now. It was surprisingly faster than what we thought it would be, especially with AI as well. We've been able to pull over a lot of things from the old repo. We weren't starting from scratch, you know, we had our old repository. So pulling things over, reworking them in a new way, AI is able to help a lot with that. And it's been able to give us time to actually think about the features more than just the code as well that we're rebuilding, so.
Just to put in perspective, we previously upgraded from an old version of Blockly to version 3 back in 2020 to add switch blocks to allow Python code in there. And that whole process took just a year. So this is substantially easier with the new Blockly versions.